What's doing, everybody? I'm Alec. Thank you for watching First Class Fatherhood. Today's guest on the podcast is Tariq El Moussa. He is the star of HGTV's reality series Flip or Flop. He has been crushing the real estate game for a very long time now. It's an honor to have him on the podcast. So go down there, smack the subscribe button, tap the like, and let's jump into it right now with Tariq El Moussa on First Class Fatherhood. Joining me now, First Class Father, Tariq El Moussa. Welcome to First Class Fatherhood.
Yeah, this is good.
All right, let's start right here. How many kids do you have, and how old are they?
Oh, wow, we are going already. Let's see, I have two wonderful kids. My daughter, Taylor, turns 10. I can't believe she's turning 10 on September 22nd. And my son, Braden, just turned 5 on August 20th.
Wow, awesome. What type of sports or activities are the kids all into?
Oh, man. Well, with everything going on right now, it's mostly just wrestling at home. But Taylor, man, she's a soccer star. She's been playing soccer since she was like 4 years old. And it's one of my favorite things to do because she's a beast on the field. I mean, she's like the enforcer of the league. I think there was one game she actually scored like 9 goals. So it's really fun to watch her play.
Wow, awesome. You ever get the opportunity to coach at all, or you enjoy it all from the sideline?
Actually, so I did coach her soccer for a few years. And also, Braden, he loves sports too. So he had just started soccer, just started baseball, but with everything happening, we had to stop. So we're just really looking forward to getting everything back to normal, getting him in sports. But we're definitely a sports family because myself, I grew up playing sports. I spent a lot of time with my parents playing sports. And I think a big key to my personal success comes from the lessons I learned while I was playing sports.
Wow, awesome. Yeah, Tariq, if you could just take 1 minute here to hit my listeners with a little bit about your background and what you do.
Sure. So I've been a real estate agent and investor since I was 20 years old. I filmed 2 TV shows on HGTV. One is called Flip or Flop. The other one is Flipping 101. I'm currently engaged to the beautiful Heather Ray Young from Selling Sunset. So life is good, man. I'm a real estate investor and a TV personality.
Wow, yeah, congratulations on the engagement. And along this journey that you had here, Tariq, how old were you then when you first became a dad, and how did becoming a father kind of change your perspective on life?
Wow, so I became a dad at 29 years old. It was exactly 10 years ago. And what an experience. Having children changes everything. Like, life will never be the same once you have kids. And I just adore the babies, and I just enjoy every moment with them. And being a father is like my favorite thing in the world. And it's just exciting to teach them, to raise them, to spend time with them, and mold them into amazing people.
Yeah, great stuff. And what would you consider to be the top values that you're hoping to instill in your kids as they grow up?
Hard work. I want them to know what hard work is. I want them to be grateful. I want them to understand that life isn't easy, and all these great things we have didn't come easy, and I want them to appreciate it. I never want to have entitled kids. I want my kids to know what hard work is, and I want them to earn their own money.
Yeah, very well said. I'm down with that. And I know that obviously you went through a very public divorce, and I have many single dads, many divorced dads that listen to the podcast here. One of the things that's very difficult for them, and I'm curious how you handle this. At what point did you have a certain point mapped out in your mind that you had to get to a certain point in a new relationship where you would feel comfortable introducing your now fiance? Did you have a certain point where you'd have to get to before you would introduce her to your kids?
Yeah, for me, I was on my own single for almost 4 years, so it was a really long time. And for me, I introduced the kids to Heather the first week we met, and she moved in the first week we met, But for me, Heather was right. She was incredible. She was amazing. She was fun. I loved her already. And, I knew the kids would love her as well.
Awesome. Are you open to having more kids, or are you all done?
You know what? We never know what the future holds, but right now, we're just enjoying life with the 2 babies, and that's what's going on there.
All right. What type of disciplinarian are you as a father, Tariq? And is it different than the discipline style that you grew up with?
Yeah, well, if I came, my disciplinary style when I was a child, I kind of got my butt spanked when I was a bad kid. But today I don't do that. My discipline is, putting him in timeout, sitting in the room, standing against the wall. But I'm pretty weak. I'll put him in timeout for like 3 minutes, and then I feel bad, and I go grab him.
Yeah, awesome. And I know that you've had obviously a tremendous amount of success here flipping houses with the real estate market. And a lot of dads that are working their full time jobs would love to try to find a way to sidestep over into a real estate investing career or something like that. They may be unaware of how to get started. What type of advice would you give to the dad out there that's got a family that would love to just get his feet wet and get into the business?
Man, this is the advice I give to everybody out there. It's like real estate is for anyone who wants it. And people all the time tell me I have no money. This is failing. I can't pay my bills. And I'm just thinking, like, think about real estate. Get educated. I have an online education program called Homeschooled, where we teach the basics and we teach the advanced steps of flipping houses. Not that someone has to go through a course, but for anyone out there that wants better life, that wants to find a better way, consider real estate. You buy an asset, it creates cash flow, has tax advantages, it appreciates, you can leverage it. It's an amazing investment tool.
Yeah, awesome. And I know you've helped so many different people out there that are trying to get into this. I love what you do, and I know that this coronavirus has been tough on many different industries out there. How
Yeah.
much has this affected you and what you do as far as flipping houses, real estate, and the market like that during the pandemic?
It's the coronavirus. Actually, it's a lot different than I anticipated. The prices have actually gone up. Inventory shrank, interest rates dropped. So I do still believe coming up in the future we are going to see a down cycle coming. And right now we're in such a hot real estate markets because people are living for free, tenants aren't paying rent. Businesses aren't paying rent, and the government's pumping money into the economy. So what happens when people stop getting free money? Well, they're gonna have to start paying bills and getting to work.
Yeah. Yeah, well said. And on that, how did the corona? I know you're doing your co-parenting right now. How did that kind of affect the coronavirus play into that? Did it limit the amount of time you were able to have with your kids? Did you pick up more FaceTime? How did that kind of affect your co-parenting?
Well, it's actually more time with the kids because I travel so much that we haven't been traveling. So we've just been spending a lot of time with the kids. It almost feels like life has slowed down and sped up at the same time because busier than ever, but moving around a little bit less. Meaning we're not flying all over the country all the time.
Yeah, and what would you say? What are some of the challenges for you doing reality TV and stuff like that while being a father? Is it a time-consuming process that takes you away from the kids? Do you involve them in the
No,
process?
no, not at
How does it
all.
work?
Not at all. So, being an entrepreneur and, kind of running everything myself, I have flexibility in how I live my life. So I schedule everything. I make sure I'm home by 5 p.m. when I have the kids, and the kids are number one. So I schedule my life around the kids, not my kids around the life.
Yeah, I love that. And how about as far as technology goes, Tariq? A lot of us out here, the coronavirus has forced our kids to have more screen time than personally I would like. I mean, I'm always trying to avoid it, but now it seems like everything they do is online. So how have you kind of managed social media or just video games and technology altogether?
Just like everybody else, no idea what to do. I'm just kidding. It's tough, man, because you can't go outside as much. There aren't things to do. People aren't hanging out, so there is a lot more screen time. We try to limit it as much as we can, but of course, the kids are obsessed with those screens.
Yeah, definitely. And what kind of projects do you have coming up here, or what can we look forward to in the future here? You got any new shows coming out, new projects that you're working on? What are the goals or plans you have coming up?
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, I mean, the biggest thing I'm most excited about, I haven't actually announced it yet, but people have been watching me invest in real estate for a decade on TV. And pretty soon, people are going to be able to invest with me in projects. So that's something that's going to be coming out really soon. Season 9 of Flip or Flop is going to come out, I believe, in 2 months. And season 2 of Flipping 101 airs in about 2 to 3 weeks. So a lot of exciting things going on.
Wow, awesome. That's exciting to hear. And what type of, last thing I'll hit you with here, Tarek. I'd love to ask all the dads that I get on the podcast, what type of advice do you have for that new dad or for that about to be father who's out there listening?
Man, you gotta put in the work. Like, that is it. They are young, they are babies, they are children. You gotta put in the time. For me, there were so many times where I'm like, okay, well, my kids are more interested in the mom or the grandma or whatever it might be. But the truth was, I just needed to spend more quality time with them. You got to build a bond. You got to build a relationship. You got to take your daughter out on dates. Go take your son out on dates. Go take them to get donuts. Go take them to get dinner. Spend time with your kids.
Yeah, very well said. I love the message. Congratulations on the engagement. You're a first class father all the way, and thank you
Thank
so much
you.
for giving me a few minutes of your time here on First Class Fatherhood.
Absolutely, man. Thank you so much. It was great talking with you.